Yeah. Sounds so good, wouldn't you agree?
Turn that shit up.
Shot for you, shot for me.
Only the real can relate.
Mike Fuego.
House of Fire.
Amazing Most. It's privy. This for that part of me that was styled by poverty. The hood in my veins now was clogging my arteries. It gave me vision, it also made it hard to see. I seen the artistry within the armed robbery. We got our 3-bedroom from a lottery, where you could catch a leg wound trying to find your key. You need that extra leg room when you find a V. Richer in the fansoons is what we bout to be. Brick sales, now every lobby got fish scales. Broke women who only hobby was rich males. You do 1 3 to 9, you take a big L. Then they throw that in your face, now how that shit smell. I'm coming home better than I used to be. I know the man in the mirror gon' shoot for me. I don't really trust niggas, truthfully. It's the privy, no motherfucking juice for me. I played them project games. Before Bloods and Crips, we had project gangs. They tried to jump me after school, but my projects came. Somebody ate your food, you had to digest pain. Damn. We came a long way from cane dealing. The hallways with the paint peeling. I swear to God, I must have seen 1 billion, but never even saved 1 million.
Peace to the gods and earths and all the positive people in the universe. My name is Anthony G. Matwambu, and you're now listening to Styled by Poverty, the Arcast, brought to you by the good fellas of the Vandal Hour and S.STREET Media. Make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube at S.STREET Media, and make sure you check out our new website at www.sstreetmedia.com. I'm going to repeat that. www.sstreetmedia.com. It was designed by my homeboy, Mixtape Web. He did an excellent job. The website is an experience, man. Make sure you check it out, man. So this episode is called 2007. Now, I know some of y'all are wondering, why did I call the episode 2007? Because sometimes I gotta take y'all back so you can understand where I'm at now. 15 years ago, I was incarcerated in Collins Correctional Facility. It was a different time, a different experience, a different me. The reason why sometimes I gotta take y'all back, because it's still me. It's just an improved me. The principles, the hustle, the vision, that was all there also, and it still is. See, for a lot of people, prison is negative. It was negative for me too. But it also gave me a lot. It was a rite of passage for me. You know, to this day, I'm very organized. To this day, I'm very much in routine. To this day, I'm definitely in my own zone. Like I'm programming, you know? Prison was different. This time in prison, it was different for me. Because I went to prison before that, as I told y'all. My first episode was called 1993, you know? So that was kind of me telling y'all me going to prison for the first time. I didn't go into details about my about my prison experience, but I definitely touched on me going to prison in 1993, which was a life-changing experience. And that's why I started Styled by Poverty, with the first episode being 1993. But 2007, years apart. The first time I went as a child. This time I went as an adult. I believe I was 28 or 29 years old. This experience really made me who I am now, though. In prison, I started reading heavy. Digesting a lot of information. You know? In Collins Correctional Facility, I did a lot. I was writing all the time, most of the time. I even started a writers club. Me and another homie, I forgot his name. He's a Virgo too. But me and a homie started a writers club where you could come to the library. That's where we had our meetings at. You could come to the library. We did it like once every 2 weeks. You could be a poet. You could write poetry. You could write novel style, meaning that books. You could have been a playwright. You could have been writing a television show. Everyone had different qualities of writing. It was a dope experience, man, because every week you had to come in with new material. You just couldn't be in our writers club and not adding on. You had to write. It was a requirement of the club. So constantly I was coming in with poetry. Constantly I was coming in with show ideas, things of that sort. But it was an very fulfilling experience to be going through while in prison. For those that don't know, you know, if you follow Styled by Poverty, you know that I'm God. I've been God for close to 30 years, if not 30 years. So I've always been God. So all the times I went to prison, I was in a nation of gods and earths. Going to Collins Correctional, I met a very diverse group of guards. And let me explain this. The Collins have two sides. And when you first come to the jail, you're on one side of the jail, which is kind of like intake. And then after a certain amount of time, you move to the other side, which is like general population. So when I got to the other side, I got there on February 22nd, 2007. The reason why I remember that date, because it was the father's birthday on that day. Clarence, of the Nation of Gods and Earths, Clarence Smith, a.k.a. Allah. And when I got to the other side, I'm not gonna lie to you. In prison, I don't like to boast that I'm God. If you know, you know. You know, I'm not walking around with a big 7 and the moon and the star on my chest like, yeah, I'm a 5%, or I'm in the Nation of Gods and Earths. Nah, I don't be doing that. So coincidentally, when I came to the other side, a brother helped me with my bags. And he helped me bring I had a couple of things, 2 big bags. So he helped me bring my bags to my bed. And then he bounced. Didn't say too much talking. He just helped me. And what's crazy is when I got to my house, I put my bags on my bed. I didn't unpack them. If you've been to prison, you don't never just unpack once you get to prison. I put my bags down. I took out my washcloth and my soap. Took off my shirt and all that, and went to the bathroom, washed under my arms and shit like that, washed up, came back out. But when I came back out, the brothers had stopped me. It was like a group of brothers that was chilling outside of the bathroom, which is where the kitchen area is in the jail I was at. And they like, peace, God. And in my mind, I'm like, how they know that I'm God? You know, I didn't know, like, maybe I gave something away, you know, but I forgot that I have a tattoo of the flag on my arm. So I guess they seen it either when I came in or I came out the bathroom. So they called me over, asked me some questions from 120. I answered it and shit like that. Then after that, they was like, yo, go get your bowl. You gonna eat with us. I told you it was the father's birthday, so they was celebrating the father's birthday. And so I got a bowl. They made me a plate. Just walked into the spot. They gave me a plate and shit. And, I started building with them. A lot of these brothers became some of my, good friends in prison. I spent a lot of times with them. I was security. When I first came in, I became security. And the reason why I chose that job, because at that point in time, I had the most time amongst the guards. When I got there, I had the most time left. So, it was better that I take that position because, if a person has a little bit of time who has that position, then they might be in jeopardy of losing their release date or their CR because something happens and something jumps off, they're gonna get in trouble or might get in trouble. So I took the job as security. I was one of the people. It was me and another brother, and the guards was real right at Collins. You had some fake dudes. Of course, there's no organization without some fake dudes, but the guards was moving right in his act. Most of the guards, the majority of guards was moving right in his act. Little sidebar, I right now I'm pushing an artist by the name of Free God, who's doing a lot of dope things musically right now. And coincidentally, I met him in Collins Correctional. And we didn't connect those dots into recently, but he was one of the brothers that I was incarcerated with, So the guards was moving correctly, man. We usually met up at NOI. Most of the guards, that was kind of where we congregated at. And for the most part, the guards was moving right in his act. We had some conflicts with other said nations and stuff like that, but no blood was spilled. Maybe a couple of some blood from some fights and shit like that, but no daggers or nothing like that. So it was pretty much a smooth time when I was in Collins. When I was at Collins. One of the major situations that happened to me while I was incarcerated at Collins is my father passed away in March of 2007, which was a heavy blow to myself. My father wasn't that old. I think at the time he was 57 years old. So I definitely wasn't expecting for him to pass away. He was sickly in my early part of being incarcerated. I had heard that late, but he was sickly. So I tried to get a message to him before he passed away. I think he passed away maybe a week or two after I tried to send a message to him. I actually went to his wake, handcuffs and all that. They had me in Sing Sing overnight. I was transported to his wake. I got to see some of my people, like my uncle and shit like that. A couple of relatives was there. I believe my son was there and my son's mother was there also. But to see my father in that casket and me being incarcerated, and the fact that the last time I had spoke to him, which I said on another episode, was on Father's Day 2006. So my father didn't come to see me in prison. He was kind of tight that I was incarcerated again. So he pretty much was like, I'm not fucking with him. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking with him. So, that's something that plays on my conscience a lot, because the last time I spoke to my father, I was on the run. I was still doing crime, shit like that. and he didn't get to see me blossom. He didn't, I didn't blossom into a late age. 34 years old is when I become who I am now. And that's why 2007 is an important year to me. It's one of them years I will never forget. While I was incarcerated, I had got a job as a laundryman, meaning that I wash clothes of other prisoners. The job was well sought after. One of my mans gave it to me, and I didn't know the power of the job, but it was a spot that a lot of people wanted to have. So I'm washing clothes and shit, and you could sell, and being a laundry worker, the state has to wash your clothes. So you put your clothes in a net bag, your whites, your colors in a net bag, and you give it to the laundry worker, and they wash your clothes with about 6 to 10 other bags in this big washing machine. And you never take the bags out the net bag. And then you throw those bags into the dryer. And that's how you wash people's clothes for free. Well, the person who had gave me the job told me that he charges people to wash their clothes, meaning that if you wanted your clothes washed outside of the net bag, which is a bag with like multiple holes, it's like a fishnet. If you want your clothes washed outside of the net bag, not amongst other people, then you'll pay a fee. The fee at that time was something like $2 for each bag that I washed. In a dorm is 50 other convicts. I don't like to use the word inmate, but it's like 50 convicts in each dorm in the jail that I was at. 50 or 55, something like that. So I charge $2. You could give me your whites in one bag, your colors in another bag. I wash them completely separate, and I dry them and fold them. I charge $2. No exaggeration. Within the first month, I may had about 20 contracts, meaning 20 convicts paid me to wash their clothes. Now, if they was paying me for one bag, that was $2. So you figure that's $40 every week. Now, if they was paying me $2 for each bag, and they did 2 bags, and it was $4, so 4 times 20, that's what, $60, 4 times 2? Yes, that's about $60 a week I was making. Now, I added a little bit more sauce to that, and I bought me some soap powder. And what I started doing was, I said, I charge $3 if you want me to use my own soap powder to wash your clothes. And this hit. Let me say, in prison, a lot of dudes, there's a lot of like drug dealer dudes and dudes that was really about money in prison. So, they don't want their shit washed with no one else. They want that luxury of, I'm doing something that the poor man can't do, that type of thing. So me saying $3 a bag with the soap powder, a lot of dudes wanted their shit like that. You heard my voice go up? So I started making more bread. To make a long story short, I was making like $8 a week as a laundry worker. What's even deeper though is, people pay you in products. There's no money in prison. They paying you in products. You dig? So I got people giving me cigarettes, rollies, food, cosmetics, shit like that. So much that I had so much shit that I had to open up a store. So I opened up a store. So if I give you one box of cigarettes, you give me back 3 cigarettes, 3 boxes of cigarettes. If I give you 1 beef sausage, pause, you got to give me back 3 beef sausages. Man, I was killing them. I was killing them so much that I had 3 stores, and 2 of them was outside of my dorm. That's how much I was moving, especially cigarettes. Cigarettes was my best seller. Cigarettes and tobacco, my best seller. You know, I made a lot of money, man. But what it also showed me was that I can make money anywhere. I can make money amongst the wolves. I can make money amongst the animals. It's a different feeling knowing that. Basically, you could drop me in any place in this world and I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna thrive. So, you know, I'm writing in prison. I got this job as a laundry worker. I got a store, multiple stores. I'm kind of doing it. And I'm still in prison. You know what's crazy is because, what's crazy is that my son and my son's mother used to come see me on a regular basis in the beginning part of my bid. And my son at that time was like 4 and a half maybe, you know? And I don't think he could grasp what was going on at that point in time, but I'm in prison for 5 years. So in the early years, you know, we'll be playing, you know, I get these toys and stuff they be having on the visit floors and shit like that. We'll eat together, you know. I play this boxing game I used to play with him all the time. And, you know, he didn't fully understand what was going on. You know, only that daddy don't leave with us. And that left a strong impression on me also. Again, 2007 was very life-changing in so many ways, man. You know what's funny, because in my dorm, Gil Scott Heron, if y'all know who that is, the revolution won't be televised. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Gil Scott Heron. He was in my dorm. And I used to be writing all the time. And I didn't even know who he was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't find out who Gil Scott Heron was until right before my father died. I only been in the jail at that point in time for like a month. So it took me like a month to find out that he was actually in my dorm. And then when I found out, I still didn't really know who he was, but when I went down to see my father at his wake when he passed, I told my uncles and shit like, yo, Gil Scott Heron is in my dorm. They're like, get the fuck out of here. And they started going, you know, crazy and shit. So that's how I knew really who he was. And at that time, I was writing a lot of poetry. I was performing poetry also prior to that on Rikers Island. In Collins, we didn't perform poetry, but we had a lot of poetry contests. Those two awards up there that y'all could probably see, the yellow and the orange one, those are 2 awards that I won at Collins Correctional Facility. I won probably about four or five awards while I was at Collins Correctional for writing. But Gil Scott Heron, I was there in the same dorm with Gil Scott Heron. I was writing all the time. And when I found out who it was, I said, you know, let me try to speak to this dude. And I went up to him and started building with him and shit. And I brought him my writing. and he read my writing. You know what I mean? And then he started letting me hold his books to read. Like he had books on poetry. County Cullen was one of them that he allowed me to read. And all the way up until he left, I spoke to him. And even when he left, he signed my book. I have a book on black poetry that he signed, and he wrote, like, keep writing. To Math or to Anthony, keep writing. So being with him in prison also, it showed me that, you know, we can make mistakes. We can make mistakes and wind up in places like prison. But I didn't want that no more. In 2006 is when I actually go to prison. But in 2007, I start to evolve. I start to become who I am now. A lot of the traits of the streets was starting to become afterthoughts. I started thinking about plans of me going home and what I'm going to do. Because all I did for my adult life at that point was really hustle. So I didn't really know too much other than that. And so, you know, 2007 was when I started to or began to retrain the trained mind. You know, it's funny because in prison, I didn't in real life, I don't play sports. For those of you who know me in real life, I don't play sports. Never was really too good at sports. Not the shittiest one either, but I wasn't the best, you know. And so in prison, I coached a team, a baseball team. You heard that? I coached a baseball team. It was a team of mostly black players because most of the teams in prison was divided into divided by race. The whites, the Spanish, the whatever. So, you know, I had a black team that had Puerto Rican, white, and other races on it, but it was majority black. We was like the Warriors of baseball, you know? And we didn't do too bad. Man. And, you know, that summer, man, was one of my best summers, man. Going out every day, you know, practicing with my team, you know, during the games, coaching them. It was a great experience, man. But that also showed me something also, man. It showed me that I had some form of leadership qualities. I don't know, wasn't enough to run a business or to become a gang lord, but I seen that I had these leadership qualities, which I've always possessed. All these qualities I told you was within me, the positive ones. Well, the qualities are all positive, but you could use them negatively. But these qualities all existed in me. Writing, you know, managing, coaching, you know, starting clubs. That's always been in me. Starting a business, the laundry business, starting a store in prison. All these qualities, all these things that I was doing, I will do later in the real world. But in 2007, I started seeing these qualities for something else. You know? A lot of people, when they speak about prison, I'm going to end off with this, dealing with 2007. But a lot of people, when they go to prison, they be upset that people don't write them, people don't come see them. I wasn't that. For me, I needed the time alone. I needed that time to learn who I was. I needed that time to not live for someone else's views of me, but how I viewed myself. But it also gave me kind of an idea and or an understanding of what friendship is and how far and how deep friendship goes. Again, I was never upset about no one not writing me, not coming to see me, but I was extra happy and blessed of the ones who did. And speaking about blessed, I was told a saying last week: you gotta love, reward, and take care of your believers. Because the believers is the one who believe in what you're doing. And even in that time, the ones that wasn't doing anything, I'm not mad at. But I'm gonna damn sure go out of my way for the people who did for me during that time, especially being in prison. To this day, most of those people, I'm gonna say all those people, are still love. I still love them. I still hold them. I still put them on a pedestal, no matter the negative or positive. They hold a weight with me that only through treachery would that love not be there. You dig? So again, the reason why I call this 2007 is because that was my rite of passage. During that time was my rite of passage. Those years made me who I am today. Those experiences made me who I am today. And I'm not appreciative of the United States court system for putting me there. No, not at all. But I'm appreciative that out of a negative, something positive came. You know? So let me leave that alone. Let me switch lanes a bit. One of my favorite segments is shit that happens in Math's world, aka non-trending topics, man. You know what I'm talking about. Shit that I give a fuck about. Well, I'm going to say this, man. I spoke about the God earlier, but I'm going to speak about him again. Free God. If you don't know who Free God is, Free God of the Wild Kingdom. He dropped an EP called 7 Bricks with Team Demo. Shout out to the Bad Seed who connected those dots. Free God is working right now. He got a new website up. Make sure you check out the website. He killed my the Blockwork concert that we had in December. You know what I mean? I haven't been on in a while. It's been like 2-3 months. It takes a lot of time for me to get into the zone. I'm not gonna lie to you. It takes a lot of time for me to I gotta experience life. I just can't be talking about nothing. I gotta experience shit. So it takes me a while to get into my creative mode. But, you know, I've been working with Free a whole lot. We've been doing a whole lot of shows. He's recording a lot of music. He got some new music coming out with Cortez. We're going to be shooting a video for that. Make sure you be on the lookout for that. But, you know, we've been moving, man. The people who know, they know. Me and Free God has been moving, man. We about to take over. I'm not gonna lie to you. We about to take over. We taking over, especially New York. We taking over, man. You know, on another note, before I leave the Free subject, we got a concert coming up on April 23rd. It's gonna be featuring Cortez, and it might be featuring another surprise superstar. It ain't inked it ain't inked out yet, but we got somebody else, a really big MC that's gonna be a part of this listening session. It's on April 23rd. It's taking place in the Bronx, Westchester, and Zariga Ave. Make sure you pull up. We're gonna have Debonair in the building and Bottom Line, who I've been working with a whole lot. Be on the lookout for Debonair and Bottom Line. These dudes is moving right now, if you don't know. Also, I had a Winter Jam event. S.STREET Media had a Winter Jam event. It was crazy. It was crazy. If you're not tapped in to these events that we be having, I don't know what's wrong, man. Something is wrong. Because these shits be crazy, man. It's 420. It's performances. It's great vibes, great energy. I don't know why you're not there. What the fuck? Y'all gotta tune in. Y'all gotta tap in. You know, we had Skip Live. We had Lulu got bars. We had the Bad Seed, who I just spoke about, who connected the dots with Free God and Team Demo. We had Nimrod in the building. We had Lyric Cal. We had Jux Diamond. Yo, and we had a surprise pop-up, man. Guess who came in, man? We had a surprise performance from Royal Flush, man. Royal Flush. He did about 2 or 3 songs, man. Shit was crazy. It was crazy, man. I'm cursing a lot now, too. Pardon me. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. 2007 was an exciting year, but 2022, it is. It is. You know, we had another dope event this past week. It was called Trippy Fest. Hosted by Kalia Clark, DJ Swift on the ones and twos. We had Trife Boss help us put it together, Get Fed Records, and the 1718 Collective. We all came together like Voltron, and we put together Trippy Fest, which we will be doing again. We had a lot of young performers in the building. And it was just energetic, man. We had the Chernobyl Boys, PS3, B Fortune. Let me say this. If y'all don't know who B Fortune is, y'all are losing. B Fortune is one of the illest singers that I've heard in a long time. Make sure you check out B Fortune. But we also had 4K Rocky, Yo Michael Lewis, Boogie Black, Chris Welch, and a whole lot of dope MCs. Yo, it was lit, man. It was lit. It was lit. We was partying. The energy was in the building. If y'all don't know what S.STREET Media be doing with these events, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all need to tap in, man. Yo. So, I know y'all haven't seen me in a while. No, y'all haven't seen the guard in a while. I've been working on a lot of things, man. Let me say this, man. My life is hectic. I have a lot of things that I'm working on that occupies my time. That's why it's hard to do the show sometimes. I'm working on my book right now, A Message to the Bag Man. I've mentioned it in past episodes. It's a book for entrepreneurs on the come up, and I just deal with a whole lot of different subjects. You know, some of the subjects that I'm dealing with in A Message to the Bag Man. The Modern Day Slave, Sleeping with Failure. These are chapters that I wrote. Sleeping with Failure, Broke Billionaires, Adapting to the Times, Guerrilla Marketing, Know Your Audience, and a whole lot more, man. It's a book that I guarantee if you don't do entrepreneurship, you're gonna have an idea on how it's done. Guarantee. Through layman's term. I'm not with the fancy words. This shit is if I put a word that's not familiar, I give you the definition. That's how I'm giving it up. You know? A Message to the Bag Man is a play on A Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. And what A Message to the Black Man was to our people through Elijah Muhammad, A Message to the Bag Man will be to our people, but through me. You know? One of the chapters I've been working on lately is called The Shining Chapter, which is about not giving up. And I'm not gonna lie to you, as a business person, this shit is not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy. You're not guaranteed a check at the end of the week. You're not guaranteed health insurance, paid days off, shit like that. Nah. Your hours ain't 9 to 5. You don't work 8 hours. As an entrepreneur, you work 24 hours, sometimes 25. So this book is gonna give you a whole lot of insight on what it takes to be an entrepreneur, the mind, body, and soul of the entrepreneur. You know, so be on the lookout for it. I'm 43, 44 chapters deep. I only got about 15, 16 more chapters left. So I want you to check it out. Make sure you check it out, man. Yeah, man. You know, so that's some of the things that's happening in Mav's world. Also, man, I just been, living, man. I've been living. We will be doing more Style by Poverty episodes coming up. The Vandal Hour is coming back also, man. So be on the lookout for that. Now, one of my favorite segments on Style by Poverty is criminal shit, crazy shit. You know what I mean? That's not the name. I fucked up the name. Hold it for a sec. Crimes, criminals, and crazy shit. Crimes, criminals, and crazy shit. That is my segment. This is one of my favorite segments, man. You know why? Because I'm a criminal, or at least some might say an ex-criminal. But I like to hear that type of shit. I like to know what's going on in the streets, what's going on criminally in the streets. I like to hear some crazy shit happened that has happened. I'm into that type of stuff, man. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm late on this, man. I must admit, I am late on this. I didn't know Pusha T's song "Snitch" was about his manager. Let me repeat that again. I didn't know the song by Pusha T, "Snitch," is an acronym, was about his manager. That shit is crazy, man. He alleges that his manager told. It's not even alleged because his manager was on Vlad TV and he admits it. If you don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez. I'm a Clips fan, man. So I'm disappointed because I always heard Gons. That's how Pusha T used to say his name sometime in verses. He was a kingpin. He was a kingpin. No bullshit. He was a kingpin. And he told to get out. He did something like 7, 8 years, man. He had like 20. That shit is crazy, man. And Pusha T is known for his drug tales, his crime, his drug dealer versus him and his brother. So that shit was a big devastation to their camp, man. That was. You know, I guess that's why he had to do the song to separate himself from the manager. Crazy. But why we talking about snitching? The Island Boys. You ever heard of the Island Boys? The Island Boys. The Island Boys. You know what I'm talking about? They be all over Instagram. These I believe they white or Spanish, and they pale, and they have like the Kodak black dreads sticking up, and they really big for this TikTok shit. They got some shit. We the Island Boys. We the Island Boys. That's them. Y'all know who I'm talking about. These dudes, their man, allegedly, Andrew James Thomas, was arrested in a raid at their home. And one of the Island Boys told the police, man, yo, he had a gun. He tried to pass me the gun. I didn't take it. Allegedly, I didn't take it. Yo, I didn't know what was going on. That type of thing. But he definitely already said that dude had a hammer. You know? And these dudes, if you know who the Island Boys is, they swear they street dudes, man. They swear they are. You know, I don't know, but they swear they are. The dude, their friend, who was 20 years old, allegedly killed Ronziah Atkins. Ronziah Atkins, according to the U.S. Sun. So these dudes be around some real dudes, I guess, even if they're not, you know. But I don't think the snitching is going to be working in their favor. Again, speaking on snitching, Spot 'em, got 'em. You know what I'm talking about? That song, not the braids out his beatbox. B-Box, that's the name of the song. All the people was doing TikToks over it. They was doing dances to it. Knock a dread out his Reeboks. They call it B-Box. That's the dude. I don't know the song, the lyrics to the song, if there is any lyrics to the song these days. But yeah, he talking all this killer shit on that song. If you listen to the song Beatbox, he's talking some real killer diller shit. You know, I looked up him snitching, and another old article came up from the past. Not even the one I'm going to talk about, but some other old joint came up. So I guess he's known for telling, but he told on one of his friends, same situation as the Island Boys. The situation happened. Police come to the crib. The police finds the guns. It's multiple people in the crib. He says it's not his. It's the other dudes, and he goes into like detail. Allegedly, goes into detail about this. Another killer turn the other route. You know what I mean? This is becoming normal with a lot of these young street dudes. Either they getting killed or they're telling. At 6ix9ine, right? So, you know, it's crazy. More on also on crimes, criminals, and crazy shit. A homeless man in New York City rubs feces on young lady in a train station. And it's actually on tape. If you know what I'm talking about, it's actually on tape. Disgusting. They should behead him. You know, you didn't hear that from me, but they should behead him. You know, and this is what makes it crazy shit. Literally, they let him go the next day. He gets arrested, and he's already home already. What the fuck? Yeah, I think that these days, if you get arrested, I don't even think you stay in jail no more. I think it's really normal. Like you could shoot somebody and actually come home also. This is normal shit in New York City, man. I don't know, the jails is packed or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it seems like everybody and their mother is coming home after a short amount of time. You know, I think that's my last topic for crimes, criminals, and crazy shit. I have some more stuff next week or so. You know what I mean? My other segment that I never had a name for. It was just like me doing reviews on shit. But now I got a name for it. It's called the Re-Up and Review. Let me repeat that again. The Re-Up and Review. I made all these titles up. My mother gave me a name that I really, for the review show, I really didn't like that. I didn't really like it. Shout out to my moms, man. You know, she's chilling too. You know, I'm gonna definitely send her this one so she could just comment and let me know what I should fix in the show. She's like the executive producer behind doors. She's like the executive producer behind doors. You know, she lets me know what I should keep, what I shouldn't keep. Do I listen to her all the time? Not really. But I definitely respect her opinion. She is my biggest fan. So shout out to Mama Love. But on this week on Re-Up and Review, I want to talk to you about a couple of things I've watched recently. One of them is a show by the name of Black Monday. It comes on Showtime. And the only reason why I know that it comes on Showtime, because I don't have Showtime, but I did the free trial, 7-day trial. I caught Deeces and Mero and Black Monday. So I got to catch the whole season of Black Monday in like 3 days. It was 4 or 5 seasons. It's an excellent show. It's a comedy starring Don Cheadle, Regina Hall. Don Cheadle, you know what I'm talking about. Rocket, Hotel Rwanda, and a whole lot of other dope movies. He's a great actor. But Black Monday is a great show. It's about the stock market crash of 1984 on Black Monday. They call it Black Monday. It is a dope show. It takes place in the 70s and 80s. The set is crazy, but it's about the stock market. It's about a stock company owned by Don Cheadle, and he's like going against the Lehman Brothers and all these other big established firms, you know. And the way they have these characters, the Lehman Brothers, Lenny and Larry, I believe. I don't know if the backstory is true, but the shit is crazy. Let me say this. The show is about drugs, money, and murder. And a lot of rich people. Very interesting. Very interesting. I was addicted to the show for those 3 days, man. I hope that wasn't the 5th season wasn't the last season, because they need to bring that show back. But if you didn't check it out, Black Monday, man, it is dope. Another dope show that I've watched is called The Underground Railroad. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. Now, I do have Amazon Prime. It's like $12 a month. That's the only thing that I can afford. So I do have Amazon Prime. And The Underground Railroad is an excellent show. It's about Harriet Tubman the first season is about, the whole show is about Harriet Tubman. But in the first season, she's not Harriet Tubman yet. She's actually not a revolutionary yet. So it's basically like the backstory to Harriet Tubman. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. They made her feel like a superhero to me. She's like a black superhero, man. And the show is like, you know, when you watch these superhero stories, they always have the backstory first before they become whoever they become. Well, The Underground Railroad is the same way. It's like the backstory to Harriet Tubman, you know? And she's going through all these experiences that makes her Harriet Tubman. And Harriet Tubman, I guess, is the superhero. She's the phoenix of this motherfucker, but she's not yet. So it's the buildup of the character. Yo, I'm gonna say this, and I may sound stupid to y'all. You know, I'm a truthful person. I don't hide nothing. I'm very open to everything about myself. So I'm gonna say this. I didn't know the Underground Railroad was actually an Underground Railroad. I'm serious. And I know that some of y'all didn't know that either. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought the Underground Railroad was like secret passages or something like that. Like it was like El Chapo breaking out of Mexico or something. I didn't know it was an actual train. Man, basically, it's the L train before the L train. It's an Underground Railroad, man. This shit had me bugged out. Bugging out, pardon me. It had me bugging out because I really thought that it was like some secret passageways that was the Underground Railroad, like a secret road or something. I didn't think that it was actually a train and a train station that was underground. The show is crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. As a black person, you really gonna look at this story and you might feel some ways, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I keep saying that, pardon me. But I'm not gonna front though. I don't really watch slave movies, man. Them shits get me upset. The Django gets me upset. When I look at the Uncle Tom dude, I hate using the word Uncle Tom because Uncle Tom wasn't even an Uncle Tom. But Samuel Jackson playing that role, that shit gets me upset. He was a great actor in that. But he gets me upset even watching him play that role. So I don't like to watch slave movies. It gets me upset. And the Underground Railroad, it kind of got me upset, especially about Georgia. At this point in my mind, since Georgia's like a black city, I'm really thinking, fuck Georgia. Fuck Georgia. You probably got to say this about every state also, though. But the Underground Railroad make Georgia and what's the other state? North Carolina look like shit. My son lives in North Carolina. I don't even want him living there no more because of this show. I'm dead ass, though. If I had the money, he wouldn't be living there. We'd be somewhere else. But it's a great show. Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. Also, another dope show I checked out is called Utopia. Utopia, man. I think this might be on Amazon Prime also. Utopia is a comic book film. It's not no superhero shit though, but it's like based on a comic book. And this comic book is like revered, and it's like an underground cult of people who love this comic book, but they believe that the comic book is real. That the comic book is real. And come to find out when you watch the show, the comic book is real. And it's crazy, man. A whole lot of killing going on in it. It's interesting, man. The characters in the show are very interesting, man. Very diverse, great writing, and also great cinematography in that show, man. They really put that show together. It looked like a Quentin Tarantino type television show. That's the best way I could describe it. It's in that vein, man. Also, what's Madonna's ex-husband, Richie, the Guy Ritchie, is in that type of style. That is written and is filmed. So great watch, man. I'm gonna say this. This is gonna probably my last one for my re-up and review section. Comic Book Men, which stars Kevin Smith of Dogma, Mallrats, Jay and Silent Bob. This show is a TV show / podcast in one. I love the way they did that too. You see them during the day in the comic book store, but also you see the same group of people doing a podcast. Very interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. More than likely, I will be stealing this idea and forming it into a GMAF style by poverty S.STREET media thing. But it's a dope show, man. It's about a store in New Jersey called Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. If you don't know who Jay and Silent Bob is, I'm a fan of Kevin Smith. These movies that I just said, Dogma, Mallrats, Jay and Silent Bob, Chasing Amy, Clerks, great movies, man. He's one of my favorite filmmakers, modern filmmakers. And this show is just dope, man. Real funny. It's not no serious show. It's just about this comic book store and selling comic books, antique toys out of it. It's almost like how the Las Vegas pawn shop show is, but with comic books. Very interesting show, man. If you're a comic book lover, they go a lot into comics. Their value, what makes them valuable and shit like that. These toys, you see these classic toys, people selling these classic toys at the shop. It's a great, great show, man. Yo, that's all for re-up and review, man. That's the end of re-up and review. Oh man, I can't. Oh no. It's not the end. My bad. I forgot this. Pusha T drops a new song, Diet Coke. It's a classic. You know what's crazy? I don't got nothing written down about it. It's a classic. The beat is crazy. The video very reminiscent of Puffy and what's the dude name? Puffy's video with Craig Mack, Flavor in the Air. It reminds me of that. Real throwback, Hype Williams type video. But Pusha T, man. For those that don't know, I am a big Pusha T fan. I'm glad he came back out with some new, fresh music, man. It's crazy. You got Jim Jones and Fab freestyling over the beat. It is a classic, man. It is a classic, man. It's called Diet Coke, which is a joke. That's a play on the song. But it is a dope record, man. Dope record, man. I'm definitely recommending that to y'all. Make sure y'all go to YouTube and check out Diet Coke. So that's it on re-up and review. Again, I appreciate y'all for hanging out, watching Style by Poverty. I got to get my rhythm back. I got to get back into my groove of things, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to be bringing, I'm bringing y'all a lot of information. I'm going to be interviewing people again. It's a new year. It's 2022. And I don't do New Year's resolutions. But for this year, I promised myself a few things. I'm going to give y'all one. I promise y'all that all the work that I do will be packaged right. I'm focusing on right now, 2022 is about packaging. It's about packaging. Word. So before I end the show, I always tell y'all today's mathematics. Today's mathematics is God or being born to God. God is the supreme being, the black man of Asia. God is Gumar Oz Dubar. It is wisdom, strength, and beauty. God is just a word for righteousness, the embodiment of righteousness in male. God is a person who lives righteously, and that is a very important thing in these times because most of these people are living unrighteously, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, the world has changed, man. The planet has shifted on its axis, man. So God is the supreme being, the black man of Asia, man. The black man is arm, leg, arm, head. That is who God is. And I'm going to end this show on that note. Peace. Thank y'all for hanging out with the God, vibing out with the God. Again, this is Style by Poverty, the Oddcast, my audio diary, brought to you by the good fellas of the Vandal Hour and S.STREET Media. Make sure you check out our website, www.sstreetmedia.com. Peace.